Joining me today is Tim Kindem out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Out of an audience of more than 100,000 agents nationwide, Tim has been selected to represent Broker Agent Advisor as this month's Broker Agent of the Month for the state of Minnesota. And Tim, we've had some good dialogue. I've enjoyed getting to know you. It's a privilege for me to share this moment with you and kind of shine a light on you for your contribution to the industry. And I just want to say congratulations on being selected and being recognized, and thank you for joining me.
Thanks so much, Brian. It is an honor to be selected and have the pleasure of speaking with you.
Cool. Look, this recognition is all about finding those that represent the industry positively, and you're definitely one of those. My hope is over the next few minutes, people that get a chance to see this just get a sense for who you are and maybe a little bit about why you were selected. And I just want to explore a couple questions together. And I want to start with the topic of real estate. You're in Minneapolis. It's a pretty big market. There's a lot of things you could be doing up there. What was the motivation for you to get in this business and become a realtor?
Yeah, so I got in this business. I had actually previously worked in the music industry, which was a very appealing business to be in amongst my friends. And when I was in my 20s, it was a lot of fun, but it just didn't have a lot of purpose. I didn't feel like I was making any real impact in the world. I was taking something I loved and distilling it down to units and moving units. And it just wasn't, I didn't feel a real sense of purpose. But when I bought my own first home and when I closed on my own first home, you know, I really got into the process along the way. But when I closed it, you know, and I'm sitting there in my home and I'm experiencing, this is my countertop. Wow, this is my pipes, and this is my thing to hang hangers on, and all these things, and this is all my little part of the American dream right here, and it's so financially smart, and I'm really adulting here, and all these things, and it just felt so empowering at the end of the day, and it just sort of hit me like a bolt of lightning. Holy smokes! If I could help other people feel this feeling, if that's what I did with my day-to-day work, that would be doing something in this world. That would be making an impact one person at a time. And that would get me waking up every day with a sense of purpose, raring to go. And to this day, that is the way I approach it.
Man, you can feel your energy, and I noticed it right at the beginning, right? And because you have a why tied to what you do. And the reason I think that's important is because most people outside this industry looking in, think everybody has tons of success and makes tons of money, and it's not the case. This is very, very difficult. Most agents don't find success in this business, and yet here you are, you know, doing your thing, finding success. And I want to ask you, Tim, it can be a grind. What kind of keeps you going? I think I know the answer based on your previous answer, but what keeps you in this business? What do you find most rewarding about it now that you know exactly what it is and what it isn't?
Yeah, for sure. So and that has been my guiding light from the beginning. And, you know, I got in this in 2006. So it was a wake up call real quick with you may have heard of the crash that happened back in those days. And had I not had that, you know, that driving force, that reason for doing that big why of helping people and making a difference, you know, I would have burnt out very early. I would have bled out money wise. But it was the idea that I could actually help other people in tough situations then. And now, of course, it's, you know, not like that, but it's still helping people. And that's what makes all the difference. That's what got me through and gets me through.
I mean, it's most often some sort of life event that triggers the need to buy or sell a house, right? Like, forget about the market conditions. You started at a time when it was at rock bottom. It was the worst, right? And we've now gone through a recent time when selling a house was easy because home values escalated really, really quickly. But that doesn't mean that it makes it easier when you've got to leave markets or, you know, you've been transferred because of a job. Like, you still have a really important role to play. And it's really clear you play that with a lot of enthusiasm and excitement. In fact, I found a testimonial of yours, Tim, and I feel like this is an appropriate place to read how a client would describe going through that process with you as their realtor. It said, Tim's been a realtor for 4 different real estate transactions. I've also referred my mother and sister to Tim for buying and selling their homes, among others, and they've all had great experiences. I really can't say enough good things about Tim. I've also heard from 3 other realtors on different occasions that Tim's a really good agent. And in such a competitive market, That's very high praise. If you're considering Tim as your agent, look no further.
Wow.
Kind of a unique testimonial, but I think it's awesome because it really speaks to the passion and compassion you have in the way you approach this business. And congrats on the high praise.
Oh, thank you. Very appreciated.
You, man, you live up there in Minneapolis. I've been there on a couple of work trips, but not spent a ton of time there. Talk to me about what it's like to live, work, and play in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah, so I grew up in a suburb of Minneapolis, and as soon as I could drive, I was heading to Minneapolis. You know, it was just where the action was, and it felt like so alive and vibrant. And I've lived here since 1999 now. You know, when I went to college and to this day, and I work all over the metro area here. But I love Minneapolis. I love Minnesota, and I love the Four Seasons. I love the people around here. I love that we're generally pretty down to earth around here. That feels about the right speed to me. And so, yeah, you know, it's just kind of got everything that I want. I mean, certainly I enjoy traveling and all the rest, but, you know, even if I had other homes, you know, if I had so much going on that I had other homes elsewhere, I would always want to keep rooted in Minneapolis. It's so the right fit for me.
That's fantastic. Look, before I let you go, Tim, I kind of want to put you on the hot seat for a minute. We'll get serious for a second.
Sure.
It's been a really tough market the last couple of years. We've had this unprecedented low inventory everywhere in the country. It's been almost impossible to be a buyer. It's been very hard to be a buyer's agent. It's just been a really tricky time in real estate to navigate, and it's made it really complex for a lot of individuals. And man, you've been in this business a long time, and I feel like a lot of people could benefit from leaning into your experience. And so I just want to ask you, based on what you know about this business, if you were to give one piece of advice to a peer in this business, what would that one piece of advice be?
Yeah, I would say it would be to always be looking to help with no expectations of anything in return. So what that means is that if, you know, someone, so for example, I had some folks who were wondering, should we remodel our house or should we sell it and buy another one? And I, you know, first of all, I said, well, you know, I certainly won't charge you to do this evaluation for you. You know, I mean, if you feel like you need to compensate me, just tell your friends about me, right? But I told them, you know, look, here is what would happen if you remodeled your house. Here is what you would be worth. Here, you know, of course, you know the cost to do that. But if you wanted to buy something, here's how many homes similar to what you want come on the market every year in the areas you're looking at. So this is how many swings you would take. So not only do you know what your home would be worth if you remodeled, if you want to know that part, but also how many opportunities do you have to get something without doing all the work, right? And that way you can really make an informed decision on what makes sense for you, and with no expectations in return, right? If they never move, if they never remodel, if they never use me to help them buy or sell, that's fine. Because to me, it's more important to put out there good into the world, and all that stuff will kind of come around. You know, I mean, I'll be fine, right? That will take care of itself. But if I conduct myself with integrity and just being helpful, you know, my business stays afloat, and that's why we do this. That's why I do this.
Tim, it's one of my favorite answers to the question I've ever had.
Well,
I believe really strongly that if we as individuals, and this extends outside of real estate, but as we as people, if we're valuable to the world, we just go out and serve the world without any expectation of anything in return, the world has a way of providing us with anything we could ever want. And I think that answer is fantastic. I think you're fantastic. I think you're the perfect guy to be represented as part of this recognition. And man, I appreciate you joining me. Congratulations again on being chosen and being recognized. And I wish you nothing but joy and abundance on the rest of your journey.
Thanks, Brian. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.